Hi, this is Dan Miller with Pro-Life Wisconsin, and this is your Pro-Life Minute. Happy Memorial Day to you and your family. Memorial Day has always been a great and fond memory for me. As a little kid, it meant going into town to see the parade. Then if we were good, Mom and Dad would treat us to custard at Adrian's Custard across the street. And then we would go back to the park and gather around the gazebo to listen to all the stories of valor and heroism given by local dignitaries and listen to the high school band play some John Philip Sousa tunes. And then we would walk over to the water's edge by the dam, where the local Boy Scout troop would paddle out in their boat with the wreath, placing it in the water as the local VFW prepared to fire off a volley and a 21-gun salute. With practice makes perfect. These guys were good. The simultaneous precision makes the gunfire even more jolting. Then taps was sounded. And then we would disperse to the three local cemeteries to decorate the graves of the loved ones who had died, and then go home to have our picnic or barbecue. This memory was unique to me, but I know millions of Americans from sea to shining sea were doing the same thing in their own hometown. And that always amazed me. The lengths we would go to as a nation to memorialize our fallen heroes is something really special and quite honorable. As I got older, I became the Burlington VFW's go-to bugler. I don't think it was because I was especially gifted, but when they called, I answered the phone, and I never said no. How could I, after all they had been through? Taps only contains 24 notes, but they are the loneliest 24 notes you will ever hear. I got to know a lot of the men and women who served in almost all the recent wars, and after hearing their stories, I had wished that there weren't any recent wars to be talked about. That would have been just fine with me, and I think it would have been just fine with them as well. Most of them would tell you that they just got lucky, and they made it home. The number wasn't up. These men and women are standout examples of courage and humility. But they weren't my only examples of real-life heroes. I have my own family for that. Our family has fought many wars, dating back to and including the Revolutionary War, so patriotism runs very deep in our family. My dad served in the Army during the Korean War and was a ballistic meteorologist. He gave up a spot on the football team at the University of Notre Dame to do just that. My brother John also served in the Army and fought in Afghanistan, and he served as an X-ray technician. He saw many things he wishes he could unsee. My other brother Jim was a bubble chaser in the U.S. Navy on the USS Eisenhower and did see battle in one of their med tours in the Mediterranean. I auditioned for the U.S. Marines President's Band and made it through the first round of auditions, but not the second. My brothers advised me not to sign anything without a contract, so I remained a civilian, and here I am, 32 years later, leading an army of prayer warriors throughout this great state to end abortion. I'd like to thank all our servicemen and women who answered the call in wartime and in peace. Thank you for your sacrifice. We all gave some, but for those who gave it all, their very lives, let us pray for them and their families, and may their memories be eternal. Happy Memorial Day. God bless you and your family.